Whatever your goal is, whatever project you're working on, whether that's fitness or otherwise, you need to make sure you have this one psychological trait. Otherwise, you are doomed to failure. And it is one of the most overlooked aspects of fitness. That psychological trait is a growth mindset. You need to have a growth mindset as opposed to a fixed mindset about any project or endeavor. If you don't have a growth mindset, you will fail. Hello everybody and welcome to episode 23 of the Kayvman Show. We are picking up from the stress is good mindset and we're going to work on the growth mindset and try and give you a growth mindset by the end of this podcast so that you can achieve whatever it is you are looking to achieve with some ease, joy, and happiness, essentially. First, we need to define what a growth mindset is. A growth mindset is the belief that skills and abilities can be improved through learning, effort, and persistence. It's a fundamental concept in any type of achievement-based psychology or positive psychology. It's relatively new, although you've probably heard about it before, especially from the work of Carol Dweck from Stanford. She's the one who really developed this and popularized this. You might have heard it before, but you probably don't know the ins and outs of it or really why it's so important. Most people know about it, but they overlook it tremendously. What I would say is it's really a non-negotiable. You just have to have it. It's not it would be nice if I had a growth mindset. You have to have a growth mindset about everything that you're working on because it allows you to change. The issue with our brains and our society is our default is a fixed mindset. A fixed mindset is the opposite of a growth mindset, whereby we can either do something or we can't. We're either good at something or we're not. And it is one of the most damaging psychological traits that anyone can have, the degree to which you're fixed. And by the way, this is not an on-off switch. We can be fixed about certain things and growth about certain things. We can be relatively growth mindset and relatively fixed mindset. So it is a little bit more of a spectrum. The degree to which you have a growth mindset about something is the degree to which you are able to learn and essentially grow into something. Having a growth mindset is just this idea that things can change, I can change. And just that simple, tiny little belief, right? And reiterating that belief to yourself or your kids or your clients or anyone you're working, just a friend, who's struggling with something. Reiterating that belief is going to be the difference between success and failure long term. Because essentially what happens when we have a fixed mindset is we give up or we try sort of half-hearted. We don't put our all into something. And understanding that we can change, that we can learn, that we can grow, even though a lot of us kind of have this perfunctory, like, yeah, sure, I can change. Yeah, sure, I can learn this. We manifest a situation as fixed because we believe it to be fixed. This is how I am, right? And it speaks to your self-identity or your identity of any human being as being fixed, right? This person is this way. My kids are this way. Husband is this way, my girlfriend is this way, I am this way, I do this. And that's where I see people failing. To make it really clear, this is where I see people failing all the time. I just don't like this. I can't cook. I can't be disciplined. I can't work out 3 times a week. I can't do this. I can't do that. I'm not the type of person who. What they're really saying is I don't want to be the type of person who. Because the truth of it is you could change in any second, the brain is infinitely plastic. We know that, neuroplastic. You can change to anything. You can adopt traits. You can drop traits. You can pick up habits. You can change your personality. You can become the type of person who ... is fit, does cook, eats healthy, doesn't have this particular bad habit, isn't an addict, whatever it is, whether it's a small thing or a big thing, you can change infinitely, you can change overnight. Understanding that and reiterating that to yourself is crucial in any endeavor, especially fitness. Whether it's changing your body for an aesthetic goal or learning a skill for an athletic goal, reiterating this point that you can change, that you can learn, that you can grow is super crucial. To illustrate this, one of the quintessential studies, I think at Stanford by Carol Dweck, but took 2 groups of kids, made them do a cognitive test. and measured how well they did. And then with one group, they praised the person. They praised the child. They praised the child. They said, you're so clever. You're so smart that you can do this, right? Now, the issue with that is a fixed mindset. Even if you say, I'm really good at something, it's fixed. I am a person who is good at this thing is limiting because it doesn't allow for change, learning, and growth. They praised the child themselves. With the second group, they praised the effort, the action. They praised the verb, not the pronoun, not the person, but the verb. And they measured the results. And with the first group, they did worse on the second test because they had a fixed mindset. Even though you praised them as a person, they did worse on the second test. They lost confidence. They lost the ability to persist. They lost effort. The second group did better on the second test because you praised the effort. You praised the action, right? The real crucial practical component to adopting a growth mindset is with yourself. First of all, you have to acknowledge that you can change, learn, and grow. And the same for anyone else. If you're a coach, if you're a parent, if you're trying to help someone, whether it's yourself or someone else, it doesn't matter. You can totally do this for yourself. You can totally do it for someone else. Acknowledge the ability to grow and learn and change. That's the first thing. You are not fixed. You're not a fixed person, right? Your personality and behaviors can change. Praise and encourage and focus on the process, not the person. Not me, Liron, I'm strong, I can do this, I'm good at this, I'm good at that. No. Praise the effort. I tried. I had a good day today. I put my effort in. I put my all in, right? I put my heart and soul into that. Praise the action. Why? Because we're not really in control of who we are. That's too big to be in. I'm the type of person. We're not in control of that. What we are in control of is our behavior, our mindset, the effort we put in, our input. We're totally in control of that, right? Whether we win or lose the game, whether we're good or bad at something, we're not fully in control of that. That might take time. We might not be good at whatever it is right now, whether that's a fitness thing like boxing, dancing, DJing, or trigonometry. It doesn't matter. We might not be good at it yet. Plus, what does good mean? What's the standard for good? What we can do is we can put our all in. If we keep putting our all in and doing our best, we will get better. So you need both of those things. The idea that you can learn and change and grow and get better, and you can be good at something. So you have to live in that world of possibility. Otherwise, the brain will shut off. It will close down the neuroplastic growth aspect of learning and grow. It will say, no, I'm not going to be able to learn and grow this. So you need that possibility. And you also need to stay in the game and enjoy the process. We've spoken about enjoying the process, right? You praise the effort. Even if you didn't hit a personal best for your workout, even if it wasn't better than last time, right? The fact that you tried your hardest. Did I do my best? Okay, I tried my best, right? That will make you better, right? Praising the process and finding something positive to praise about yourself, about your endeavor, about your process. That is crucial. Those are the two components of growth mindset. That is where people slip up. They give up, essentially, by giving up. And the reason they give up is because they have a fixed mindset. The reason they have a fixed mindset is because we're socially conditioned to believe some people are good at this, some people are good at that. And it's true that some people have inclinations towards certain things and predilections and talents and genetics and all that type of stuff. But that's really not as important as the fact that they're applying themselves. So they always say like hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard, right? And we've spoken about hard work. That's a funny one because it means different things to different people. Being process oriented and putting in effort and enjoying that effort is what's going to get you to the next level. To wrap this up and illustrate the point, I have this book here, right? Anatomy and Physiology book. I was all right at math and science growing up, but as an adult, I hadn't practiced it for years. And then I got back to math and science and said, I can't do this stuff. So I was taking an anatomy and physiology class, and that's pretty intense science. And everyone else in the class, I was doing this as an adult, 25, 6, 7, 8, can't remember. Everyone else in the class was pre-med. They were nurses and doctors. I was the only one who was kind of a layman as a personal trainer. I was not a high science guy. I was a low science guy. I was definitely behind. The teacher would ask this, chemistry question, like chemical question, and I was like, the hell is he talking about? I don't know what he's talking about cells and stuff. I was really downhearted about it, but I remember getting a couple weeks into the class and I just said, fuck it, I can do this. I'm not there yet. This is the leap of faith that the growth mindset will make you do. I'm not there yet. Okay, I'm not good at this. Right now, I'm way behind people. I don't understand what the hell is going on. This guy might as well be speaking Chinese to me. I do not speak Chinese, just to clear that up. So I didn't understand a word he was saying, the teacher. And everyone else did, which is even worse. I was in the class and everyone else understood. Anyway, literally, as soon as I had that thought, it felt like something inside of me, actually in my body as well as my brain, opened. It was, I can't explain it to you, but it's like almost a spiritual thing. You become open to life. In this particular case, information coming from the outside. And it all changed. Everything changed. I was able to absorb information really fast. My brain was taking things in, and I was also able to work at it. I was able to sit down with that textbook for hours and enjoy learning the information, and it became like a drug. I fell in love with learning and anatomy and physiology, and I understood things in a super deep way. The fact that I hadn't understood it from a scientific kind of nerdy way before, and I understood it from a very practical personal trainer type of way, really helped. It became an advantage, not a disadvantage. I know now the internal neurochemistry and neurobiology of everything and how it all worked. But at the time, it was just that fundamental switch from a fixed mindset, I'm not good at this, I'm stupid, I'm never going to learn it, being really frustrated, to the growth mindset. It made all the difference in the world. And it literally happened in a second. And by the way, just to wrap that story up, I was top of that class. I was the smartest kid. The teacher was using me as an example for everything. I had superseded everyone else because I adopted a growth mindset, not a fixed mindset. When I look back on times where I failed or struggled, I think it was always because of a fixed mindset. So here's the RX for today. Pick something that you are working on right now, that you are either not doing well at or you're not 100% confident, and adopt this growth mindset in two ways. First, say, I can do this, I can learn this, I can grow, I can level up to this, I can change. And that will give you that confidence to start. That's your foundation. As you start to work on it, praise yourself for the effort, not for your results. Don't worry about results yet. Praise yourself for the effort. I did good. I tried today. I showed up today. I just did the workout. I showed up to the gym or whatever it is. Praise yourself for the process on a daily basis, right? Even if you did a shitty job, right? But you tried, you put your best in. Do that and see what happens. That's the ticket to the growth mindset, and it's the ticket to success in any endeavor that you are currently working on. So that's about it from me. Let me know how it goes. I'm going to wrap it up there. Peace.